It was a quiet evening when I heard a knock on my door. The day had been long, and I had just finished dinner, looking forward to unwinding with a cold beer and some mindless television. But the knock at the door was firm, official even, and I knew better than to ignore it. When I opened the door, I found Miguel standing there with a younger officer, one I didn't recognize. Miguel and I had been partners for years before I transferred out of active patrol duty, and his presence at my doorstep usually meant trouble. The young officer, fresh-faced and slightly nervous, shifted on his feet, clearly unsure of how to proceed. "Hey, man," Miguel greeted, his tone casual but with an edge of seriousness. "We got a noise complaint. Figured I'd check it out personally." My brows furrowed. Noise complaint. I repeated. I knew immediately what, or rather, who, it was about. Miguel gave me a knowing look and nodded. "Your dog, Rex." Rex, my loyal German shepherd, was lying just inside the house, ears perked up. He was well trained, barely barked unless something was genuinely wrong, and was more disciplined than most humans I knew. The idea that someone had lodged a noise complaint against him seemed ridiculous. The younger officer cleared his throat and read from his notepad. "The complainant states that the dog has been barking excessively throughout the night, disturbing the peace." I sighed. "Let me guess, Karen." Miguel smirked but didn't say anything, likely trying to maintain some level of professionalism in front of his rookie. But I already knew the answer. Karen, my neighbor, had been waging a quiet war against me and my dog for months now. The rookie hesitated. Yes. Karen Peterson. She said this isn't the first time." I scoffed. "That's because she's been making complaints for months. Rex is one of the quietest dogs in the neighborhood. The only time he barks is if someone's snooping around." Miguel nodded, turning to the rookie. "Look, we'll file the report, but there's no violation here. Just let it go unless it escalates." I shook my head as I watched them leave, knowing this wouldn't be the last time I heard from Karen. Karen was a nightmare wrapped in pastel-colored cardigans and a permanent scowl. She had moved into the neighborhood about a year ago and had quickly established herself as the self-appointed HOA watchdog. The first time she complained about Rex was when he barked at a delivery man who had come to drop off a package at my doorstep. A single bark, just one. That was enough for her to march over, demanding I control my beast. The second complaint came when Rex was in my backyard, playing with a chew toy. According to Karen, the sound of him growling and tugging at his toy was menacing. Then came the letters. Official complaints filed with the HOA, alleging everything from excessive barking to aggressive posturing to intimidating neighbors. Each complaint was more exaggerated than the last. I ignored most of them, knowing they were baseless. But when I received a formal warning from the HOA stating that further issues could result in fines, or worse, Rex being declared a public nuisance, I knew Karen wasn't just being a busybody. She was out to get rid of my dog. I wasn't going to let that happen. The next HOA meeting was a disaster. I showed up, determined to put an end to Karen's nonsense once and for all. Several of my neighbors, including Mrs. Thompson, an elderly woman who lived across the street, were on my side. They had seen firsthand how quiet and well-behaved Rex was. Karen, however, came armed with printed emails, noise logs, and even a petition she had started to ensure the safety of the neighborhood. "This dog is a menace," she declared dramatically. "I can't step outside my home without hearing that awful barking." I opened my mouth to argue, but Mr. Jensen, the HOA president, held up his hand. "Let's keep things civil," he said. "We've received multiple complaints about Rex's barking. If this continues, we may have to consider enforcing restrictions." I clenched my fists under the table. With all due respect, those complaints are coming from one person. No one else has an issue with Rex. Karen folded her arms. "Because they're too afraid to speak up." Mrs. Thompson scoffed. "Oh, please, Karen. The only menace in this neighborhood is you." Laughter rippled through the room, but the HOA members remained serious. "We need to be fair," Mr. Jensen said. "If another complaint is filed, we'll have to take action. That includes possible fines and restrictions." Karen smirked. She had won this round. The next week, Karen doubled down. A police officer showed up again, this time citing multiple anonymous complaints about Rex lunging at children and growling aggressively at pedestrians. I knew immediately that these claims were false. Rex had never shown aggression to anyone unless provoked. Luckily, Miguel was one of the officers assigned to the call. After a quick chat, he assured me nothing would come of it unless actual evidence surfaced. But I could see the frustration in his eyes. Karen was abusing the system, and there was little they could do about it. A few days later, I found one of Rex's water bowls overturned, his leash cut. Someone had been on my property. I tightened security, installing cameras and making sure Rex wasn't left outside unattended for too long. I wasn't just worried about the HOA anymore. I was starting to worry about what Karen might do next. One evening, after a long day at work, I came home to find something disturbing. Rex was sitting by the back door, ears alert. The moment I stepped outside, I noticed something was off. His food and water dishes had been kicked over again. His doghouse, which sat in the corner of the yard, had deep scratches on the side, claw marks or something else entirely. I walked around the perimeter, checking the new security camera footage. That's when I saw it. Karen, sneaking into my yard in the middle of the night, placing a small device near Rex's doghouse. I pulled up the footage and zoomed in. It was a small speaker, hidden near the fence, programmed to emit high-pitched sounds. No wonder Rex had been restless. My blood boiled. This wasn't just pettiness anymore. This was targeted harassment. I grabbed my phone and dialed Miguel. "This has gone too far," I told him. "Karen just messed with the wrong dog." This was only the beginning. With the evidence I had now, I was ready to fight back. Technology has evolved at an unprecedented rate over the last century, transforming societies and reshaping how humans interact with the world. The transition from industrial-age mechanical systems to the digital revolution has led to significant advancements in every aspect of life, from healthcare to transportation. In the early 20th century, technology was primarily focused on mechanization, with innovations such as the assembly line improving production efficiency. This era saw the rise of automobiles, radio communication, and early computing machines. The mid-20th century introduced more sophisticated technologies, including the first programmable computers, the Internet, and nuclear energy. The digital revolution, beginning in the late 20th century, introduced microprocessors, personal computing, and the Internet, which revolutionized how people access information. Social media platforms emerged, facilitating global communication in real time. With artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, and automation now leading technological advancement, society is experiencing new ethical and economic challenges. Despite its benefits, technological evolution has raised concerns about privacy, security, and employment displacement due to automation. Governments and organizations must balance innovation with regulation to ensure ethical advancements. The future of technology lies in responsible AI development, sustainable energy solutions, and the continued integration of digital tools in everyday life. Climate change is one of the most pressing challenges facing humanity today. Over the past century, industrialization, deforestation, and unsustainable agricultural practices have significantly increased greenhouse gas emissions, leading to global warming and environmental degradation. The primary driver of climate change is carbon dioxide, CO2, emissions from burning fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and natural gas. These emissions trap heat in the atmosphere, causing rising temperatures, melting polar ice caps, and extreme weather patterns such as hurricanes, droughts, and wildfires. In addition to carbon emissions, deforestation and habitat destruction have led to biodiversity loss, threatening ecosystems and food security. The depletion of natural resources, such as freshwater, is another growing concern as populations continue to rise. Efforts to combat climate change include international agreements such as the Paris Agreement, which aims to reduce global temperatures by limiting carbon emissions. Renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, and hydroelectric power are increasingly being adopted as alternatives to fossil fuels. Sustainable development strategies, such as eco-friendly urban planning and conservation initiatives, play a crucial role in mitigating climate change's effects. However, global cooperation is essential in addressing these environmental challenges. Governments, industries, and individuals must work together to promote sustainable practices and reduce their ecological footprint. Education serves as the foundation for societal progress by shaping future generations and equipping individuals with knowledge, skills, and critical thinking abilities. Access to quality education is a key determinant of economic growth, social stability, and technological innovation. Historically, access to education was limited to the elite, but the advent of public schooling systems allowed for broader societal inclusion. The Industrial Revolution saw the rise of compulsory education, and the digital age has further revolutionized learning through online platforms and virtual classrooms. Education not only improves literacy and numeracy skills but also fosters problem-solving abilities, creativity, and cultural understanding. It is crucial for reducing poverty, as educated individuals have greater job opportunities and earning potential. Moreover, education plays a significant role in addressing societal issues such as gender inequality, public health, and civic engagement. The challenges facing global education include disparities in access to quality schooling, especially in developing nations. Financial constraints, political instability, and inadequate infrastructure hinder educational growth in many regions. Governments and organizations continue to work towards providing equitable education through policies such as free primary education, investment in teacher training, and the integration of technology in classrooms. The future of education lies in personalized learning, adaptive AI-driven tools, and an emphasis on lifelong learning to keep pace with rapid technological advancements. The global economy has undergone significant transformations over the past century, driven by technological innovation, international trade, and shifting political landscapes. The rise of capitalism and industrialization set the stage for economic growth, while globalization has interconnected markets like never before. Historically, economies were largely agrarian, but the Industrial Revolution introduced manufacturing and large-scale production. The 20th century saw the growth of service-oriented economies, followed by the digital economy of the 21st century, where tech giants such as Amazon, Google, and Apple dominate. Globalization has enabled international trade, investment, and collaboration, leading to economic growth but also widening disparities between nations. While developed countries benefit from advanced financial systems and technological infrastructure, many developing nations struggle with economic instability, debt, and unemployment. Economic recessions and financial crises, such as the Great Depression of the 1930s and the 2008 financial crisis, highlight the volatility of global markets. The COVID-19 pandemic further exposed vulnerabilities in supply chains, labor markets, and healthcare systems. The future of global economies will likely be shaped by advancements in automation, artificial intelligence, and digital currencies. Policymakers must navigate economic shifts by promoting sustainable development, fair trade policies, and social safety nets to mitigate economic inequality. Health and well-being are essential for individual and societal progress. Over the centuries, medical advancements have drastically improved life expectancy and quality of life, but challenges such as pandemics, chronic diseases, and mental health issues persist. The discovery of antibiotics, vaccines, and surgical innovations revolutionized modern medicine. Public health initiatives, such as sanitation improvements and health education, have significantly reduced mortality rates. The digital era has further enhanced healthcare through telemedicine, wearable health devices, and AI-driven diagnostics. Despite these advancements, global health challenges remain. Non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, heart disease, and cancer are leading causes of death. Infectious diseases, including COVID-19, have demonstrated the importance of robust healthcare infrastructure and international cooperation. Mental health has also become a growing concern, with increasing awareness of depression, anxiety, and stress-related disorders. Societal pressures, digital dependency, and work-related stress contribute to rising mental health issues. Governments and healthcare organizations are working to improve accessibility to healthcare through universal health coverage, mental health support programs, and public health campaigns. Leadership plays a crucial role in determining the success of an organization. Effective leaders inspire, guide, and influence their teams to achieve common goals. Leadership is not confined to merely giving orders. It is about fostering a vision, setting a clear direction, and creating an environment where employees feel motivated to contribute their best. A strong leader possesses qualities such as integrity, emotional intelligence, decisiveness, and adaptability. The impact of leadership extends beyond individual teams and shapes organizational culture, employee morale, and overall productivity. Leaders must communicate effectively to ensure that their vision aligns with the organization's goals. Transparency in communication builds trust and credibility among employees. Furthermore, great leaders empower their teams by delegating responsibilities and encouraging innovation. This not only enhances efficiency but also boosts employee satisfaction and retention rates. In today's fast-evolving business landscape, leaders must adapt to changing market trends, technological advancements, and societal shifts. The ability to navigate uncertainties, make informed decisions, and foster resilience among employees defines exceptional leadership. Whether in corporate settings, nonprofits, or governmental organizations, effective leadership is the cornerstone of long-term success. Technology has revolutionized education, transforming traditional teaching methods and learning experiences. The integration of digital tools in education has made learning more accessible, engaging, and personalized. Online courses, virtual classrooms, and digital resources have removed geographical barriers, enabling students to access quality education from anywhere in the world. One of the significant advancements in education technology is the rise of e-learning platforms. Platforms like Coursera, Udemy, and Khan Academy provide courses in various subjects, allowing learners to acquire new skills at their own pace. Additionally, artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning have enabled adaptive learning systems that cater to individual student needs, offering customized educational experiences. Technology also facilitates collaboration among students and educators. Tools like Google Classroom, Zoom, and Microsoft Teams have made it easier for teachers to interact with students, share resources, and conduct assessments seamlessly. Moreover, gamification techniques and interactive simulations make learning more engaging, particularly for young learners. However, despite these benefits, challenges such as the digital divide, cybersecurity concerns, and screen fatigue must be addressed. Ensuring equitable access to technology and implementing best practices for digital well-being are essential to maximizing the potential of technology in education. Climate change poses a significant threat to global economies, affecting industries, agriculture, infrastructure, and human livelihoods. Rising temperatures, extreme weather events, and natural disasters disrupt economic stability, causing financial losses and increasing vulnerability. Countries around the world are grappling with the economic implications of climate change and seeking sustainable solutions. Agriculture is one of the most affected sectors. Changes in weather patterns, prolonged droughts, and unpredictable rainfall reduce crop yields, leading to food shortages and increased prices. Developing countries that rely heavily on agriculture for economic sustenance face severe challenges in maintaining food security and economic growth. The energy sector also experiences the impact of climate change. The transition from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources requires significant investment and policy shifts. Governments and businesses are increasingly investing in clean energy technologies, such as solar and wind power, to mitigate environmental damage and reduce dependence on non-renewable resources. Additionally, climate-related disasters such as hurricanes, floods, and wildfires result in massive economic losses. Insurance companies, infrastructure developers, and businesses must adapt by incorporating climate-resilient strategies. International cooperation and policies like carbon pricing and sustainable development initiatives play a crucial role in addressing these economic challenges. Artificial intelligence, AI, has seen unprecedented growth, transforming industries, enhancing productivity, and reshaping the way humans interact with technology. AI applications range from healthcare and finance to entertainment and customer service, offering automation, efficiency, and data-driven insights. However, as AI continues to evolve, ethical concerns surrounding its use must be carefully addressed. One of the primary ethical concerns is bias in AI algorithms. Machine learning models are trained on vast datasets, and if these datasets contain biases, AI systems can perpetuate and amplify discrimination. For example, biased hiring algorithms may disadvantage certain demographic groups, leading to unfair employment practices. Ensuring fairness and transparency in AI decision-making is a pressing challenge that requires rigorous testing and regulatory oversight. Another critical ethical issue is data privacy. AI-driven systems rely on vast amounts of personal data to function effectively. Protecting user data from misuse, cyber threats, and unauthorized access is essential to maintaining public trust. Regulations such as the General Data Protection Regulation, GDPR, aim to safeguard user privacy, but continuous improvements in data security measures are necessary. Moreover, the rise of AI-powered automation raises concerns about job displacement. While AI enhances efficiency, it also replaces traditional roles, leading to workforce disruptions. Upskilling and reskilling initiatives can help workers transition to new opportunities in AI-driven industries, mitigating the negative impact of automation. Mental health awareness has gained significant recognition in recent years, highlighting the importance of emotional well-being alongside physical health. The stigma surrounding mental health issues is gradually diminishing as societies acknowledge the impact of mental disorders on individuals, families, and communities. One of the key aspects of mental health awareness is early intervention. Identifying symptoms of depression, anxiety, and other mental health conditions at an early stage can lead to timely treatment and better outcomes. Schools, workplaces, and healthcare institutions play a crucial role in promoting mental health education and support systems. Workplace mental health is another critical area of focus. Stress, burnout, and work-related pressures can negatively affect employees' mental well-being, reducing productivity and job satisfaction. Employers are increasingly implementing mental health programs, offering counseling services, and fostering a supportive work environment to prioritize employee well-being. Social media and digital platforms have also influenced mental health discussions. While online communities provide support and awareness, excessive social media use can contribute to anxiety, self-esteem issues, and digital addiction. Promoting digital well-being and encouraging healthy online habits are essential to maintaining mental balance. Governments and organizations are investing in mental health research, policymaking, and accessible healthcare services to address mental health challenges. The moment of truth had arrived. The protagonist, having gathered all the necessary resources, allies, and knowledge, now stood at the precipice of their final challenge. Every lesson learned, every hardship endured, and every doubt overcome converged into this decisive confrontation. The antagonist, an embodiment of all the struggles and opposition faced along the journey, stood firm, ready to crush the protagonist's resolve. The battle was not merely physical but also ideological. The protagonist had to not only defeat their adversary but also prove the worth of their values and beliefs. The struggle was intense, with each side pushing the other to the limits. The environment, whether a battlefield, courtroom, boardroom, or other arena, seemed to tremble under the weight of their conflict. The protagonist's strength came not from mere power but from the resilience built throughout their journey. They tapped into memories of past hardships, advice from mentors, and the unwavering faith of those who believed in them. With a final, decisive action, be it a strategic maneuver, a last-minute revelation, or an act of sheer courage, the protagonist emerged victorious. But victory did not come without sacrifice. Whether losing a trusted ally, facing a deep personal cost, or bearing scars, physical or emotional, the protagonist realized that triumph always came with a price. With the battle won, the protagonist stood amidst the ruins of what once was, a battlefield littered with broken weapons, a courtroom silent after a verdict, a company reshaped after a corporate upheaval. Though the external conflict had been resolved, the emotional and psychological aftermath loomed large. The weight of choices made, the impact of actions taken, and the irreversible changes all settled in. The protagonist took a moment to reflect. There was no simple joy in victory. Instead, there was a profound understanding of the journey's cost. Perhaps they had lost friends along the way, seen innocent lives affected, or realized that victory did not mean complete peace. It was a bittersweet moment, triumph mixed with sorrow, success tempered by the recognition that nothing would ever be the same. During this time, secondary characters played a crucial role. Some celebrated, while others grieved. Some questioned whether the fight had been worth it, while others reaffirmed their faith in the protagonist. This moment served as a crucial bridge between the climax and the resolution, grounding the story in emotional realism and depth. Looking back at where they started, the protagonist barely recognized their former self. The naive individual who first embarked on this journey was gone, replaced by someone wiser, stronger, and more aware of the complexities of life. The trials and tribulations had reshaped them, making them more resolute, yet also more understanding. This transformation was not just about personal growth, but also about the impact they had on the world around them. Their actions had sparked change, influenced others, and set in motion events that would ripple far beyond their immediate story. Whether they had inspired a revolution, changed an institution, or simply made a difference in the lives of those close to them, their journey had meaning beyond their own existence. However, with growth came choices. Would they return to their previous life, carrying their newfound wisdom? Would they step into a leadership role, guiding others on similar paths? Or would they seek a new challenge, unable to settle after having tasted the fire of transformation? The protagonist was not the only one who had changed. The world had, too. The consequences of their actions rippled outward, altering the landscape of their society, relationships, or the very fabric of reality itself. Perhaps the defeated antagonist's followers sought revenge or redemption. Perhaps the power vacuum left by the conflict led to new struggles. Or maybe the world, inspired by the protagonist's actions, took a step toward a brighter future. This shift was vital. It showed that actions had consequences, that no victory was absolute, and that every decision shaped the world in profound ways. Some welcomed the change, seeing it as a new beginning, while others resisted, yearning for the past. The protagonist, now an integral part of history, had to navigate these changes, deciding how much further they wished to be involved. Here, secondary characters also played a crucial role. Some might have been lost in the battle, their sacrifices remembered in the protagonist's heart. Others might have emerged stronger, ready to carry forward the ideals the protagonist had fought for. As the dust settled, the protagonist stood at a crossroads. The journey that had begun with uncertainty had led them to a place of wisdom and choice. The final scene encapsulated their growth, showing how they had come full circle yet were irrevocably changed. Perhaps they returned home, forever carrying the lessons of their adventure. Perhaps they set forth on a new path, ready for the next challenge. Or maybe they chose to fade into legend, their story becoming an inspiration for others. Regardless of the choice, the ending carried a message, whether of hope, caution, renewal, or continuity. Loose ends were tied, lingering questions addressed, and the final image left a lasting impact on the audience. And so, the protagonist took their final step in this journey, knowing that while this chapter had ended, life would always hold new battles, new lessons, and new stories waiting to be told.